State, we're lagging for the break for a chance to go to the Sweet 16 and sending it to the Predator commentary booth. Take it away.
And welcome back to St. Louis, Missouri. This is the Yalin WPA World 8-Ball Championship, and where 96 players have started their campaign, we have now arrived to the last 32 single elimination stage. And we've got a very interesting matchup for you, as we have two, players for Team Mosconi Cup America facing each other, as we have Skylar Woodward and Justin Bergman, both from the USA, both battling it out for a place in the last 16 in the commentary booth for this match. Myself, Tim de Ruiter, joined gladly by my good friend and colleague Arya Sarabi. Arya, this is quite interesting, especially if we look into the future for possibly another Mosconi.
Hi Tim, hi pool fans. Yes, very much so. Just a small correction, it's a race to 10 from this point, as you could see right there on the bottom left of your screen, but you're totally right, Tim. And you know what? It's funny because I thought these two players have played each other numerous times over the years, since both of them are at the top of the game, representing the USA, but they've only played each other once before, and Skylar Woodward won that match 10-3 or maybe even 11-3. So this is only their second time on the big stage playing each other.
Well, they definitely have grown into the pool world from the same generation. To recall, they both actually start playing like a similar time around the National Junior Championship. Well, you can see already some early frustration with the break. I really like how he's hit the break there, though. So many balls being close.
They're more or less from the same generation, Tim. It's 6 years between them, so little age difference, but you wouldn't tell.
Well, that's either very nice to one of them or very rude to one of them. It just depends. Now, first chance for Bergman. Bergman, who, I don't know how he won that match against Wojciech Cevcik earlier on. He was down 7-4, making many, many mistakes for his standard. And then yet Wojciech not closing it out twice. So, you know, sometimes to become a champion in a tournament, you kind of have to get lucky somewhere. Maybe that was the match for Bergman. Look at how nicely all the solids are open.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. This is something you see happen a lot of the time. When a player is more or less knocked out and then all of a sudden they spring back to life because they got a bit of help, let's be honest, and you know, they go on to win the tournament or at least reach the final, which is astonishing when you think about it, but it is something that we've seen many times over the years. Justin Bergman, I'm sure he's had a couple of very strong matches. He's got a couple of shaky matches, so I'm sure of the two, he'd be looking to start off sharp here. Try to cut out these silly errors and, you know, play to somewhere near his standard. All of us know he can play good enough to even take the whole event. You need to produce the goods.
Yeah, I have to say, a bit interesting that he didn't draw the cue ball back to play that free ball right after. Would be nice to open the corners a bit. Has to run towards the 3, I feel like. I mean, he can still play 2, 3, 5. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that I'm not a big fan of using the 5 ball to get to the 8. Oh, the 5 ball does go by the 3. Ooh, but not like that. Wow. And actually, when I seen that cue ball go, it looked like he didn't even put any left spin on there. And, well, if you play it center ball, you're kind of putting the 5 ball into the rail on that. And what a odd mistake that was for Bergman. Well, Skyler now with plenty of space on the table to get going.
Wants to draw his cue ball towards the side rail here, just past the middle pocket. Landed in an area where he's got at least 2 or 3 shots.
Yeah, it definitely makes the game a lot easier when your opponent takes 3, 4, 5 balls away from any sort. I mean, any kind. Doesn't matter. It's just about how much space you have. And now he's plumb on the 12. 12 and 9 into the same center.
Skyler Woodward opens his account. Justin did have a chance in this rack, but it's still early days. Now, Tim, you've covered a lot of matches as well, just like myself, throughout the event. Be interesting to see how both players will go about the break in this match.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, not only me, we both did see a lot of matches so far. I have to say, Skyler did come up with a different break than we have seen most of the event. Most of the people trying to pop the cue ball, trying to go second ball break or either from the center. He's breaking from the side, head on. But he's having a very level cue. He might be moving now after I said this, of course. No. Still sticking with the same. Just the cue ball, not much of a hop last time he hit it. Oh, a bit more cuts this time. And again, look at the 14 and the 5. Like, they're like flying straight towards the corner, jamming up.
How unlucky is that, Tim?
Well, even that 2 ball for a second was close, but it's just, that is just one part of this whole 8 ball that you cannot change. Brutal, but it's not going to be any different. I have to say, though, Bergman getting the opportunities. Bergman should at least get 1 out of the 2 to get a bit loose. Now, the 5 ball is blocking the top left corner. That's why he's gone for the solids. We'll have to get to the 1 ball as soon as possible, though. Partially covered by the 9.
I wonder if he can get to the putting angle on the 1 here. He's looking at it, so maybe just can. Otherwise, it's cut into the middle pocket. I mean, the putt is very easy, but my cue ball is going towards that 1 and the 9. Not so sure whether he wants to play into the 1 and the 9. Maybe he'll have to. Still see the 5. Might be his alternative here.
Oh, hit that a bit thin. Either wants the cue ball to go further or stop early. Did he land nicely on the 7? I think it's all right enough to take it on. But it depends. If the 8 doesn't go to the bottom left and only goes to the bottom right, I like keeping that 7 ball on. Yeah, and the 6 ball not going to the top left means this shape has to be right. If you leave yourself too much angle on the 6, it's very difficult to get nicely onto the 7. I think he's landed very nicely from where he was laying.
Yeah, and I do believe that 8 ball does go into the bottom right, so if he can land somewhere where the cue ball was right there, and this will do, this positional shot becomes very easy, very straightforward. Just came down to have a second look at it. I do believe that 8 ball putts past the 9 ball. This was a much needed reply, you would feel, for Justin, just to settle himself down.
Yeah, didn't manage to take the opening rack away from Woodward, but does manage to take the rack after another dry break for Skyler. Score now nicely posted 1 each, but Bergman breaking. He was second ball breaking later on, a little bit like Jean-Marc Malayan area, like a very in-between pace. Nothing too special, but he was making balls on the break. I've seen a lot of players do that, so maybe the secret lays a bit in there. There's always a way to make balls on the break. Don't tell me it's the referee, the rack, the balls, the weather. It's just not there.
Yeah, it's something we've noticed throughout the event. Most players have been breaking from the side. I do have something to share with y'all. Is, you know, we've been keeping track of the stats mainly on table number 1 and 2, but there has been a very, very special performance by Carlo Biado, who broke and ran the whole set to qualify for the last 32. That was quite remarkable.
Yeah, I hear so many excuses and complaints and all that, but in the end, in about 2 days, we have someone walking out of this building with $90,000 by playing 8 ball, and that guy is probably not going to complain about how the balls opened up on his break. I mean, I just cannot imagine. So it's a bit of an attitude thing. This break has worked out for Bergman. Nice offensive attitude to break from the center of the table, and now taking on, he's looking at taking on the 2. Just wondering why he wouldn't go for the 9. Maybe because of the 12 in the center of the table. Either way, should be fine, but missed the 2. Yeah, did miss it by much, but he has missed it. Kind of hurts, because if you feel like your break is going well in the beginning of the set, but yet you're not capitalizing on it, it's not going well forever. You know, the break can definitely catch up to you. We've seen a match earlier today, was together with Gethin Davis in the booth. I believe there was like a break success. The player had 60 or 70% and it dropped all the way down to 20. Like it just, the whole match was fine all the way till the end, and has to be careful. Justin Bergman, this could be happening to him at this point. Yeah, now Sky opting to go for the solids too. 7 a bit tricky to land on, and the 2 ball by itself on the bottom. Yeah, I kind of like playing the 4. Or can he play maybe the 3, leave himself angle on the 4, drop to the bottom for the 2, and then the 7 in the top corner? No, he's played a great nudge on the 11 ball.
He's still not completely happy with the angle he's left himself. He's got options, but it's one of those where you have to play a very delicate positional shot. He's managed that very well. Nice angle on the 7 here into the side. Just screw in between the gap of the 11. And I believe it's the, well, the stripe below the 8 ball. Yeah, it's the 15 ball. Oh, wow. He did not want to make contact with the 11 there, and he's now left himself a tough jump shot here. That's a mistake, and you can tell by his body language, absolutely disgusted by that positional shot. You should have not been in this position, Tim.
Needs the recovery. Yeah, good try, but it hopped just right before the 2. Who would have imagined Bergman back at the table this rack? I mean, hopefully this doesn't really set the tone overall for this match.
It's still early days. If you're gonna make mistakes, I suppose you better do it in the beginning part of the match rather than towards the end part where every little detail is magnified. And I tell you what, Tim, I don't expect him to get back at the table in this inning. Skylar could have left his cue ball in a much easier beginning spot for Justin. Even that nudge there on the 11 is not worked out to perfection. Might have to take the 15 now. Yeah, so the 15 below the 8 ball. Maybe play the cue ball cross sides. Yeah, he played that with an element of safety. That's nicely played in terms of hedging your bets, if you like.
Yeah, overall, I feel like there must be some kind of tension between the two of them. Obviously, they've played many more times than you spoke about earlier on. Might have never drawn each other, or not as many times in the big tournaments.
Like the MC announced before the matches got underway, Justin Bergman represents St. Louis. So as you can see, he's got a lot of support out there in the crowd. That can amplify the pressure as well, Tim.
Yeah, sometimes it really feels great to play in front of your home crowd. Like sometimes it can give you a big boost, but yet another time it feels like you just don't want to disappoint them. Oh, and he's missed that 12, and
yeah,
he could have played to the short side of the 11 too, played to the bottom.
That's unforgivable. It really is unforgivable. At this level, you just cannot afford to miss shots like that. Or opportunities, not just shots. I mean, you should have been out twice already in this rack. But Skylar is going to take the rack. Don't worry, the level will go up.
Yeah, obviously at some point they're going to get more comfortable. Both players are going to catch more feel for the table and for the moment on the break. But yet, if you look at missed shots for Justin Bergman within the first 3 racks, that is a bit worrying. So now Skylar breaking from the center. No more breaks from the side rail, he said. Nice quick hit. Look at how many balls are tracking up table, and I fear the absolute worst. I mean, look at how nicely everything opened up too. I mean, literally every ball, except for maybe the 5 and the 8 ball, they were really not trying, and everything else was flying. Well, I mean, you just got to tell yourself, if I keep breaking like this, eventually it's going to happen for you. But for now, Bergman at the table, 13-14 combination, has to get to the bottom side of the 9, either the 9 in the top right corner or in the right center. Ooh.
That's a nice shot. Managed to control it.
Well, kind of looked like the 2 ball might interfere now a little bit. Yeah, I don't... You might not even be on it anymore. Wow. Yeah, actually caught that full.
He's looking at a rail first. The problem with that is that cue ball likely to run into the 2 ball as well.
Oh, managed to make the ball and not make a foul. So now 10-9, 12-11 or 12 and 12 first, 12-11, 10-9 possibly.
Well, I believe Sky is wondering if that was a foul or not, because he was sitting right in the line of the shot. Yeah, so there's a bit of discussion whether that was a foul or not. And we didn't talk about it, Tim, but I was wondering in the back of my mind whether this was a foul or not. Actually, I think he hit the 2 ball first, you know. Looking from that replay. Referee didn't call it. Ah, okay, so maybe they're complaining about the shot clock. Maybe that's a little off now.
Yeah, looks. Yeah, looks indeed like he touched the 2 ball real close, but it's.
No, he
it's
definitely
super
hit the 2 ball first. Definitely hit it.
I do understand, but if at the normal pace, I can understand also that you do not completely see it. Now, of course, with the replay, we can actually get to watch it. I mean, honestly, they're going to take a little look at it now, just to look back. And I know actually both of the players are going to say whether they're right or wrong, too. Like, they're not going to argue after this, but they just want to make sure the call is right. And yeah, I mean, we got to see the replay, so obviously we can see there is just that little bit of contact before. There you go.
100%. That's a foul. And, you know, both players resolved alongside our referee this in the right way. Fact remains, Tim, not a good chance for Skylar to pull away.
Yeah, so let's go back to regular pool, please. I mean, I'm in general not a big fan of these kind of scenarios, but just happy to see two players that are not going to fight over this, you know, because that's the worst. Yeah, I can float the 6-ball in, be on the 4 to the bottom left. Either straight or a little bit of angle to the right. It does work.
He needs to pick up his game, Justin. He's already missed 4 or 5 shots within 4 racks, and That's going to cost you at any level, but particularly if you're playing the World Championships. Could have left himself a bit easier on this 8-ball though, Tim.
Yeah, this looks to be very steep. I'm even wondering. He probably feels like he only has the cut into the side, but watch the cue ball. Nicely done, but I do agree. Justin Bergman did have an open layout there, and he's just running into trouble like after every couple balls. Very struggling opening to this match for both players. Kyler Woodward now up 3-1. In this race to 10, we still got plenty to play for, but it is single elimination for a place into the last 16.
This is a nice little addition to our production. We have a split screen where you can see the break technique as well as the overhead view camera.
Oh, and he's made a ball. Did put a less square hit on the 1 ball though, this time. More cut onto the first ball. That's one of the reasons why most of the balls stay over to one side. But hey, I don't think he's gonna complain at all. He's still at the table.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. I was wondering if he was going to play the nudge into the 7. That was exactly his plan, and once again, executed to perfection. He's looking strong here, Tim.
Yeah, I agree. Everything wide in the open now. Just connecting the dots. Yeah, could use the 6 to get to the 2 ball. And possibly the 1 to get to the 8. So many ways you could play this out though. I mean, could play 7-1-5, 6-2-8. Could go off this 7 up to the 2 ball. Could play 7-2, crossover from the 6 to the 1, and then from the 5 to the 8. The 6 ball being a bit higher, I like the fact that he's played early onto it. Yeah, just like that, just has to make sure he leave himself probably on the high side. That's what he's looking for. And to go 2 rails up for the 8 in the top left.
Didn't seem too happy with the contact there, based on his body language, that is. That's nicely played. So Skylar now taking a 4-1 lead. As he just produced the first break and run of the match.
Yeah, for now, definitely the missed shots are going to hurt Bergman the most.
Couple of notable score lines. As you know, there are a lot of matches simultaneously ongoing in the venue. Wu Kunlin 5-0 up against Radoslav Babica. Jason Shaw 5-2 up against Hubert Lobotko, also representing Poland. And one guy you and I, Tim, know very well, Marco Teucher. He's 2-3 behind against Robbie Capito.
Yeah, now actually a complete different hit on the break than he had last time. Last time he was cutting it on the right. Now he's cutting it on the left. That first ball break, cutting it over the left or full in the face, not too much success so far this week. Oh, and look at this. Just a tricky opener in general. Is now starting with the 11. Crossover for the 14 in the same corner. Just a hint of inside spin. And now he looked to be quite straight. Can he still draw himself by the side? The answer is yes. In that case, he could play 15, 13, 10. And then possibly off the 10 go to the 12 and the 9.
He's going to take the 12 first. He's looking to leave himself a bit higher on the 13. Actually, absolutely dead straight, so probably play a stop shot on the 13 to put the 10, and he could even play a stop shot on the 10 if he wants to reach the 9.
Yeah, but then I'd rather go to the short side of the 9 then. Now he's put himself straight, so he will probably play the stop shot, but I didn't mind going to the short side of the 9, depending if you had that small angle on the 10, of course. An important rack, I mean, 4-2 in the winner break. Not too much to worry about. And now still opting to break from the center. Was successful last time, I believe. Oh, and a cue ball off the table. That's not something we get to see often.
Which way would you go about this then, Tim?
Well, I have to say, with the 15 blocking the top right corner, I kind of like the stripes. Because how else are you going to make sure the 4 does go to the top right or the 5 goes to the top left? Just the 8 ball maybe a bit tricky for the stripes. And the fact that Skyler now has taken away the 10 is going to help him in the long run as well. So now, still Messi, limited in his options.
Yeah, I think he was trying to play position on a 13. That's why he had a little grimace on his face. So he'll have to go for an alternative route. And that's a smart shot. The sooner he can get rid of the 13, it opens up the pathway for the 14 and the 9 eventually. Provided that he also pots the 15 at some point, of course.
Oh, don't think, yeah, he looks like, what have I done there? I cannot imagine. He's kind of fortunate to have hit that ball. Was it a 15 laying over the corner? Because with this angle, he can go over to the 14-9. Yes, he will have to do a lot more work from the 12 to get to the 8 ball. Is it impossible? No. Just doesn't want to be laying on top of the 3, and no, it stops just in time.
I don't know if he's got the option here to leave that 9 ball for the last. It makes playing shape on the 8 a lot easier. He's landed a bit funny on either of the 2 balls, so he needs to make a decision here. The putt on the 12 is very easy, but you need to land pretty good on the 9, so it's going to take the 9 here, except a bit thinner shot here on the 12. Now straight.
I think he could still play with top left.
Yeah, so that cue ball needs to pass the center line if we're talking about the top rails, top and bottom rail, of course. So as long as that cue ball passes the center line, you should have a putt on the 8 ball. Yeah, that's nicely played.
I actually didn't think it did go to the bottom right, but indeed, if he plays a little bit of right spin, he's going to throw the 8 a bit more over to the right long rail. And that's what he's done, and has made a difference now, 5-2, maintaining that 3-game lead. I mean, Bergman just doesn't get any grip on this match, does he?
No, but the stats don't lie. 4 missed shots, 2 fouls. It's at this level you're likely to be behind.
Well, don't forget the fall on the break he just had. Like, that's already, if you think about it, 7 mistakes and 7 racks. Could have lost maybe all of the rack.
Brittany Bryant in the stands as well.
Yeah, wondering if she's still in the mixed doubles event. I don't think so. No, I just made sure to have a look at the draw at ProBilliardSeries.com for the Poison mixed doubles event. And we have Jessica Centeno, Jason Shaw up against Zhao Feng Fu together with Justin Bergman. And Bean Hung together with Fred Gorst up against So Soa and Victor Zielinski. Actually, that is our next match for today, our next round for today. So, no, that's not true. It will happen today. That's one thing for sure. Monday, 7 p.m. St. Louis local time. And in the meantime, now Bergman at the table. But this looks really messy to me. Does he have a starter, for example, for the stripes, or is he already forced into taking a solid?
Yeah, I'm not so convinced. I thought maybe you could see the edge of the 10 to cut it into the side, but it doesn't look like it from this camera angle. So, like you said, he's pretty much, if he's going to attack, forced to take the solid. So he's actually playing safe. Didn't see any value in attacking, and I don't blame him for it.
Yeah, and this is now the point where I feel like the best move to play is to start tying balls up, push the 7, 3, 11 as a cluster, for example. But, I mean, it's kind of destructive way of playing 8-ball. It's not very much of a beautiful way to play the game, but it's definitely part of it. Now, can Skyler maybe stick the cue ball under the 3-ball? Well, not under the 3-ball. But still quite the lock. At some point we're going to see him maybe even play the 12 into the 13, draw the cue ball down. Yeah, it's like a one-pocket rack at some point. Yeah, good cue ball. Let's make a mess up table. Still no shot for Sky to go aggressive if he would want to. And especially now, this was a bit of a thing with the 3-ball over the side pocket. Had to make sure to get cover on that. Still, so many innings with both of them not being able to actually shoot something. Now, in between, let's have a little glance across the room. Of course, we've got most of the last 32. Well, we actually have all of the last 32 matches going on. Let's see if there's some interesting results. Wukun Lin is really on fire right now. 6-0 against Radoslav Babica. Jason Shaw 8-2 up against Hubert Lopotko. Both quick players. 10 racks in 55 minutes. Not bad. Carlo Biado 6-3 up against Gerson Boza Martinez. A lot of good matches going on. Let's go back to this match. Make sure to stay tuned. Check the scores on ProBilliardSeries.com in case you want to follow your favorite player.
Still open table. Sky going for the stripes here. No. If you can't develop the 9 into play, you can take it on as a bank shot, which is a very makeable bank shot position for that 9 ball to sit.
Yeah, that is a good option. And the 14 does lay him quite nice onto the bank. So definitely would like to end the rack. 14-9 to get on the 8.
He's got the option to pot the 14 now, play the bank, and then try and pot the 13 as last. I think he is weighing up that option.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as much, I would say. Maybe playing this route instead of going to the 8 from the 9. He doesn't really have to do much more with the cue ball. In this case, Skylar, I don't think he's going to play crazy draw or anything. Just maybe soft draw, get the cue ball back a diamond, take anything on the 13.
Failed to make the bank, and in comes Justin Bergman with a chance. Don't know if you disagree, Tim, but it feels like we've reached a stage in a match where when Justin Bergman gets a chance like this, he just needs to run out.
Well, I actually was already starting to think if Skylar gone the run out on this 6-2, I was already starting to think, well, this match, I don't think we're going to get to 10-4, 10-5 stage. Like, just with how everything has been going. But Bergman at the table, he has it in his own hands to make a difference. Oh, now a bit too much angle. That's why he got. Oh, he looked a little bit frustrated there. More traveling to do on this 6. 6 is close to the rail. Easy to catch it, just slightly off and hang the ball.
Justin Bergman went pretty deep in the bank showdown. Not considering the bank on a 2-ball. Doesn't have to, of course.
Did catch it a little bit thicker. That's why the cue ball is slightly slow. But he is on something on the 2 at least.
Yeah, all things considered, I think that's a very good shot. I don't expect him to miss this, but if he was, it's likely to tie up the 8-ball anyway.
Hey, I mean, it's still quite a match. Just look at this scoreline. 5-3 ain't so bad for Bergman. Imagine you have a very slow, sloppy start in the beginning of the match, yet you're only trailing by 2 racks in a race to 10. And as I just said that, we just got the message in that both players will be taking a break. So that means Arias Sarabi and myself, Tim de Ruiter, we're going to take a break too. We'll be right back with the remainder of this match. And welcome back, everybody. The players have come back from their timeout. Arya Sarabi and myself, Tim de Ruiter, we also have come back from the timeout. And we are ready for this exciting match. Both players taking a break. We're hoping to see both players coming out strong in the second part of this match. Look at this for a break. Look at all the spread. Look at the balls flying. Literally everything has gone up table. But nothing going in. Right?
No. 7 ball. Have a look at the 7 ball. I was tracking that 7 ball before the replay and it just dropped. And
well, I'm happy for him because I actually felt like the balls were broken nice. So, I mean, obviously for us too, we would like to see them having great breaks and amazing clearances and not see them have dry breaks all over the place. Just hurts the player's confidence that much. He's going for the stripes. 14-9. No. 14-12-9. I like this better. Good option. Was not a big fan of getting from the 9 ball to the 13, so this works. And the last time I said this, and I'm going to try again just to see if it's really because of me, yes or no. In the previous match, he had one of these layouts where I said, if you want to take a shot at the title, you have to make sure you run this out. Like, you cannot afford yourself to not run out with how nicely this is spread. But then he seemed to miss quite a decent 7 ball. So now I'm hoping.
let me jump in there, Tim. That's not an unfair statement. That is very, very true. If you cannot clear a table from this layout, then you're not going to tell me you become world champion. That's impossible in my eyes.
Yeah, so I was just going to try again to see if it really had to do anything with me, but obviously that's not the case. He's on the 15. I kind of like to play for the 11 into the center after. Kind of interesting. This means the side pockets must play smaller or tighter than most of us will think from the stream. So he could play indeed 10-11 or 10-15-11. Because he just doesn't want to play the 11 into the center with a lot of pace. Oh, doesn't want to be straight.
This is a shot. And so a break and run it is.
Yeah, one of the not so many break runs in this match. Now the score being 5-4. Skylar Woodward leading over Justin Bergman. But Justin does hold the break. And his break success is going upwards quite a bit. And as I have mentioned many times before, and I stay with this statement, the fact that I find it way more important to have a perfect ending to a match than to start off great and then the wheels coming off. So I don't mind both players starting to struggle in the beginning of the match. The race is long enough for them to play themselves into possibly a real strong ending from both players. And that's what I'm looking forward from this position, kind of.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. If there's ever a moment in the match where you can afford a couple of hiccups, it is in the beginning. When it's hill-hill, it'll have to be perfect or otherwise you're out. Justin Bergman just produced a break and run, looking to repeat that.
Yeah, another successful break. I have to say, cue ball control also nice. Of course, he got the kiss. He makes a ball on the break. Cue ball still on the table. Mission successful, and now the run out. What does he have?
Yeah, it's all about the cluster on the left side of the table. That will determine whether he'll go for the stripes or the solids. I do believe, Tim, the stripes are just a bit easier, if I can use that word. Well, theoretically, everything pots.
I was just going to say nothing is easy in a World Championship, but I do agree. The 10 does go. Just, yeah, I was going to say I like to have a ball next to it so I don't have to do anything on the 10. So I'm just going to play this with low right. Just going to tap this in, take anything to the center. Yeah, but what? Caught the 7 ball too full. Didn't play with the outside spin. And the reason you could play the outside spin is so you can play the 10 fuller and it throws the ball more outwards. And that way you can have a different contact on the 7 ball. Well, you can see the frustration. Is he still on it? Or is he going to play a real small masse? 10 seconds left. Yeah, now Skylar coming to the table. That cluster near the left long rail you alluded to is now opened up.
Obviously fuming in his chair, and rightly so, Tim. That was a good opportunity.
Well, don't forget, he was down 4-1. Oh, wow.
I didn't foresee the safety there. That was not even close.
Well, and also not to the safety. Wow, that was something else. So there's everything on the stroke too. It looked very choppy, very short. Wanted the cue ball to go into the long rail and out, and yeah, I'm not really sure what has happened there. Bergman should be very, very happy to get another chance at the table.
Well, relieved him. I mean, when you've seen him in a chair, fuming, shaking his head, and within a shot, he's back at the table. So it's very easy for him to put it, past him if he can just put these 3 remaining balls. Pretty high on the 11. He was looking at the 8 into the side, so I have to accept a bit thinner on the 8 ball. Into the bottom left, that is.
Yeah, probably the best thing he could have played. As you could see, already got so close to the bottom left corner. Now, I've seen him miss one of those before earlier on in the tournament. Would like to see him just play this with top spin, but the last time he also put like a low left on it.
Yeah, the left spin actually helps the 8 ball. Nicely played. Now, he did have that positional error, but didn't get punished for it, so it's all good. 5-all. Definitely breaking better of the two, as you can see in that graphic. 75% break success. Skylar only on 17%, so he'll be looking to get an opportunity to improve that stat.
Yeah, I mean, I think before the match, there definitely would have been people saying, you know, this could be close. This could go all the way, you know. And so far, with how the match has been going, it just gives me that vibe that we might literally climb all the way to a hill decider in this last 32 match.
Well, they've had only one meeting on the highest stage, and Skylar Woodward won that match 11-3, so already this is a lot closer.
Yeah, nice square hit once again, and I mean, just nothing going in. Mentally frustrating too, you know, knowing that you hit the break quite nice, but yet nothing running in your favor.
Yeah, it's draining. I mean, you can, you know, play good pool and not miss, run racks, but every time you break, nothing goes in, so you have to sit and wait and hope, and it's very draining. Feels like one step forward, two step backs. It's can take a toll on you mentally, but it shouldn't. Not at this level.
Yeah, now he's gonna go to the 14. Has to. Yeah, nice bump, nicely played. Didn't go into the corner, so he had to play that bump. And with the right pace, he was always going to be on the 9.
Meanwhile, Jason Shaw, first player to book his place in the last 16. He's won his match 10-2, Tim. So he can have some time off, although I'm sure he'll be back in the mixed doubles.
Extension.
Yeah, could play the 12 and indeed try to play yourself a line in between the 2 and the 7. If you land straight on the 11, perfect. If you do not, you get onto the ball into the top right corner, the 15, and then the 11 in the center. So I kind of like that line. Oh, and I think he's too short on both. Wow.
Just
I like
on
the line
15.
he played. Are you sure he's still on the 15?
He's not perfect on the 15 by any means, but he can pot it.
Yeah, good shout. Didn't think 15 would go. Now back on track.
Now, me personally here, Tim, I would like to send a cue ball in between the 2 and the 7, just to not having to deal with all the balls in my way, trying to queue up on the 8. He kept it simple, taking the extension, I believe, or no bridge. Just hover over these balls.
Yeah, 6-5, and as you can see, it's just not coming along quite easily, is it? I mean, what a match we've seen so far. Just every single rack seems to be somewhat of a drama either way.
Yeah, it's hard work, and you know that stat proves it as well. 17% on break success. It literally is hard work for Skylar at the moment. And I was just having a look at the stats. Justin Bergman, he did have the fastest break and run in this match, at least 3 minutes 11 seconds. Skylar Woodward, he had a break and run also 3 minutes and 19 seconds, so not a lot between them. So as you can clearly see, when the players do get a chance or a good opening, they can easily run the rack below 4 minutes, but you know, layouts haven't been favorable or like a roadmap so far. Woo Kun Lin now on the hill, 9-0 in front. I guess he likes donuts, Tim.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with the donut.
Second ball break this time. Now you can clearly see the frustration on Skylar's face, and I do emphasize with him, this is, like we said, it's draining. Every time you win a rack, you're sitting in your chair being hopeful, thinking to yourself, right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then you break and nothing happens. Yeah. Clearly not happy with the break, still shaking his head as we see some of the spectators there. Nice attendance, Tim. It has been throughout the week, so that is very encouraging to see. Justin going for the solids here.
Yeah, I did like the solids, especially with the 4 being able to maybe go to the bottom left and the 6 that's laying next to it. The 11 ball on the left, quite a trap. But then on the other side, the 1 ball needs a bit of work too. Doesn't go to the bottom left.
Still not completely over it. It remains to be seen whether Justin can putt the 4 directly if he does not have the access to putt it directly, which it kind of looks like he can from this camera angle. As you can see, he can use the 7 here and place his cue ball exactly where he wants.
Yeah, we do have a lot more action to come for tonight. We do have one more Seyberts Women's Open match coming up after this, and our final match for today will be the Poison mixed doubles semi-final coming up. Now this tells me he has left himself a nice angle on the 1 to draw back in between the 4 and the 3. But the only thing I'm wondering is, like, I just don't like where the 4 is laying. It kind of makes me nervous thinking about leaving it all the way till the end.
Not so sure if that is the right shot. He can draw into it if he wants.
Oh, this tells me it must go. He probably thinks if he plays at pocket speed, he's always going to be on the 8 to the center. He just didn't really want to do much more on it. That's a possibility.
Yeah, that's the right way to play that shot, I feel. Draw in and out of the side rail. You can easily underscrew or overscrew it if you try to hold it without hitting a rail. Foul. Yes, I was just much like in what we had, what was it, 3rd rack maybe? 4th rack? I was wondering if that was a foul. Let's keep a close eye on the cue ball. Yeah, it hits 11.
Yeah, I mean,
Such an unfortunate moment as well. It was
yeah,
just
on the other side, I just cannot believe why he's left that 4 all the way till the end. Like it was scary from the beginning.
He was just gaining some momentum, and well, if you was in his seat, you'd consider yourself lucky if you get back to the table from this layout. Woo Kun Lin also through 10-0. Quite some result that is.
Yeah, looking to honor Chang Yun Lin, probably looking to win this title just like Chang did in 2012, I believe it was. No, it was 2012.
And the man who played a perfect set prior to this round, Carlo Biado, also through 10-5. He beat Gerson Martinez. Just double checking there. I do believe that 13 goes. Yeah, that makes positional play a lot easier. Send that cue ball in between the gap of the 11 and the 8. Yeah, costly error. That foul was by Justin. Like you said, he didn't prefer to leave that 4 ball towards the end, and it's cost him.
Yeah, the early gap is back once again, 7-5.
Be interesting to see if Skylar will move his cue ball towards the other side of the table. So far it's been breaking from the left side, from the main camera angle. Might be worthwhile exploring the other side, see if something good can happen from that side.
Well, we've seen so many different things. I mean, it's just, you got to go with a gut feeling. You got to read what everybody's doing around you. You got to go with your gut feeling. You got to completely trust it. And then actually I do still believe in like how much of a quality stroke do you put on the break. Is it very snappy or is it actually a nice accelerated break? I mean, there's so many things you could say. I did have so many players have great success with the second ball break. Like 60, 70%, half ball. No, broke him head on, but that little bit cut towards the long rail, and he's made one.
Yeah, sometimes that that can be the difference. You know, he chose to break from the other side, and at least he got a ball down. And not only that, he's got options here. He can play the combination if he prefers the solids, but he can also go for the stripes. Just a matter of preference. When you look at the layout, he should go out, get out here, Tim.
Well, woulda, shoulda, coulda. We've already seen so many ways where things could have gone wrong, so I'm a bit anxious. To talk about it, but yeah, I mean, he's still on something. He's got a long 5, but everything in the same area though. Now let's have a look. The 6 connects with the 7. Could use the 1 to get back to the center of the table, be on the 2 or the 3 ball.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to take one of these 2 balls out of the way, preferably the 2, just to open up the positional area for the 3. Just a little angle, but it is one where he can power this in, send his cue ball towards the left side. Yeah, it's quite easy to hold for the 7 here. Just a little bit of side spin.
Yeah, now with that break going his way, 8-5 in the making, and another comeback needed from Bergman.
Wow, could have played that one better. Absolutely horrified with his positional play there. Meanwhile, Mario Hay also on the hill. He leads 9-2-3 versus David Al-Qaeda. The table called as Skylar Woodward picked up the Kwon. 8-5 up, only 2 racks away to book his place in the last 16. And at least that break success is not anymore on 14%. That was Yeah, very surprising stat. Both players have produced 2 break and runs so far each. As you can see by the stat there, balls pocketed on the break, not a lot. Yeah, Skylar staying on that right side now. And who can blame him? Didn't break him on the second ball there, Tim. And that's why, well, I wouldn't say that's why, but nothing has dropped. 3 ball came very close to the left side pocket. Bergman back at the table at a very important juncture of the match. 8-5 down, cannot afford to see his opponent go 9-5 up. Needs to restore parity, or at least get in with between 1 rack.
Well, back to the 2 in the center. Yeah, nice pace. Great chance. This is, look at those 3 solids. All ready to be taken on the top. 3, 5, 4, 8 probably. The defending champ, Albin Ushan, back on table 2 over, I said back, I mean over on table 2. He's currently 8-6 up against Naoki Oi from Japan.
Yeah, I like the way he played position on the 8-ball there. Didn't want to overcomplicate things. As you can see, this putt is very comfortable.
Yeah, pulling one back, 8-6 now. But he needs to make something happen on his break.
Well, you know, Tim, the stats do say that Justin has been breaking better of the two, 60% compared to his opponent, 22% break success. So normally speaking, in this match, he is the one who's created the most chances of the break. But the match has reached a point where a dry break can be very costly.
Yeah, the stats don't mean that much at this point. I mean, they're great, but as a player, it has to happen now, even if you're at 100% break success. A dry break or two at this point can still get you in huge trouble.
Justin still not messing around, going head on the break, power break.
Oh, and 3 balls fighting for any more space to go into the center. Look at this.
That is brutal.
9-7, the 10.
That
I believe
really
even
is
the
brutal.
5 ball was close. This is. What more would you want?
The ball in.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. He's going to play up to the 4 right away. And then I feel like it's just about getting on the 6 ball. And it's going to put Skyler on the hill.
He can even play shape on the 6 on the short side if he wants. Doesn't have to take any risk. Now, I'm just wondering whether that 6 goes into the side or not.
Oh. And another turnaround.
Or like DJ Khaled would say, another one.
Well, I thought it was Drake, but well, now top left spin. Is he gonna go try and nudge the 15 out? Try to nudge the 9 out. Tested nicely. The other option he actually had was playing a similar shot, but nudge the 3 ball over to where both the stripes would go to the top left. Interesting play. Still 15, not the easiest, but he has the 10 next to it.
Looking to put the 15 off the 10 into the side. Now that's not that much of a difficult shot here. It's just a matter of he can place the 10 ball in an open area, not occupied, and as you can see, that 6 is blocking the 10 ball, and it doesn't look like he's left himself too much angle on the 14. Can he swing it around the right side? And is it even worth trying it? The 8 ball looming large as well.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you have to. I mean, no way I want to play to go to the 10 as my last ball. He really has to make sure he doesn't get frozen on the rail either.
What do you reckon, Tim? Play shape on the 10 or try to run into it?
Well, I liked playing the shape, but I felt like he had a minimal nudge on the 8 ball there. It was a scary shot he had to play. He's played it really well, though.
Given the circumstances, I would feel like that is the best positional shot he's played all throughout the match. There's a lot of pressure on this. Iceberg still in this.
Yeah, and actually I've seen him do this in a couple different matches. He was trailing against, well, he was winning against Joshua Filler. That went all the way to the hill to then Justin Bergman run out on the dry break at Hill from Filler. Then he's had a major comeback earlier today against Wojciech Chevchik, where I think most of the people kind of gave up on him. Also Hill and Wojciech not landing on the 8 ball. And now I kind of feel like he's just doing it again. He's trailing 8-7, he's breaking. This could still go 9 each, and it would be insane. Yeah, I love how his family is right in the back behind him. Definitely father and sister. Never met the mother, so I can't tell. And yet, did he find something? I don't think he has. Just, if you would imagine, just grab 10 or 12 balls with your hands and just all push them up table, like just towards the short rail. You would say always 1 or maybe even 2 would get real close to the corner. I feel like exactly that is just not happening. Like so many balls flying up table, and yet it mesmerizes me how nothing is going in. But another opportunity for Woodward to bring himself onto the hill, and he's already limited himself in options. Won't be able to take the 7.
We'll have to take the 6 now. That was not per se part of the plan on that positional shot. It's interesting, of the 2 players, it's only been Skylar that's asked the referee on a couple of occasions to clean the cue ball. Don't know what is exactly bothering him. Maybe a piece of chalk mark on the cue ball. Wow, cued across it. You could see the cue. You might see it in a replay. Completely across it. Have a look at this. It's dead straight. Pushes the cue towards the right. And when you push it to the right, you're going to miss it to the left. Yeah. That was a technical glitch more than anything.
Yeah, very painful. Woodward will be kicking himself twice now to get on the hill, and he's let the door wide open for Bergman to just storm right through it.
Tried to develop the 12 there. If anything, he's just made it a bit tougher now to play shape on.
Extension.
Much like the previous rack, there's a lot of tension here. Massive difference. 8-all or 9-7 down in a race to 10. And that 12 ball is probably Skylar his last hope in this rack. I think he's looking to come off side rail, maybe even bump into the 8 ball to leave himself a shot on the 12. So the angle he leaves himself here on the 10 ball is pretty crucial. It might actually be off 2 rails, maybe even 3 rails. It's a small gamble, but it is a gamble that is worth taking. Quite frankly, has he got any other options? I wouldn't believe he has.
Needs the cue ball to go. It's okay, 50-yard line. Nervy shot though.
If there was ever a pressure shot you'd had to explain to anyone, this is that. In it goes, I think. Oh, wow.
Oh.
I spoke too soon. As soon as that 12 left, it felt like it was going to go straight into the pocket, but just wide.
Was a scary shot, right? Just having to hold the cue ball there. Couldn't really put much more pace into it. Sensitive on the stroke and, well, mentally draining this kind of match.
And you know, the most unfortunate part of it is not the fact that he's only missed the 12. If it would have stayed over the pocket, at least he would create some sort of a problem for Skylar. Now that 5 obviously pots, so he should get out here.
Yeah, natural angle on the 5. This is Woodward's time to get himself on the hill. Already had that opportunity twice, so he's going to feel relieved to finally have gotten to this point. Yeah, so 9-7, Skylar Woodward, the bluegrass badass, is on the hill over the iceberg.
Just a couple of scoreline updates. What's been going on the other tables? Marco Teucher, 8-5 up against Robbie Capito. Mario Hayes still on the hill. He was 9-3 up, I believe, against David Al-Qaeda. It's now 9-5. Albin Ushan over on our other featured stream table. He's 9-7 up against Naoki Oi. Fedogor 7-4 up. Misko Fortunsky 8-5 and Francesco Sanchez Ruiz 7-4 up against Tyler Steyer. So these last 32 matches, all of them shaping up nicely. Will he get a ball off his break here, Tim? That's the main question. As you can see in the stat above your screen, it's only 22% over the entire match. That's not high.
Oh, but he finds one. Nice cut break. And this layout is looking very good too. I mean, he might have to start with a combination on the 15. That's what I've seen at first glance. Unless he takes a little bit of a longer shot, but could play a 5-15 combination if he really wants to be stripes. That's what it's called. I don't mind this at all. Doesn't need the bottom left corner anyways, so in that case just make sure to make the ball and you've got a very favorable side.
The applause you heard from the other arena is in fact the defending champ, Albin Ushan through. I believe he can cut the 13 into the side here. That seems to be the only easy pot. He's landed a bit funny here on the 9-ball, Tim. He's looking to come off the side rail into the 4. Maybe even directly into the 4. That 12 ball is definitely a problem ball. And I wonder if he will risk trying to play position on it now. If not, his best bet is to land nice on the 14 and take the 12 into the side.
think it might still go to the bottom left, and it might work just for him, yeah.
No. No.
Well, maybe real first. He might still have it.
I would suggest that the referee would be in the vicinity of this shot, because this is a very important moment of the match. No. But, as you can see, Tim, that 14 ball is causing quite some problems for Justin Bergman. Probably looking to play safe now, as most pathways to kick the 14 in are blocked, so it wouldn't be a bad decision to play safe.
Yeah, but maybe he has left the jump. No, he's kicking at it, but I mean, maybe not as much shape opportunities. Going for the jump, that's why he's kicking, bending this around. He's bent it too much, and actually, believe it or not, it's blocking the 5 ball now, and Justin might have to play another save.
Yeah, he's looking to drop this 14. That's a good shot. That's a very good shot.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
yes, in theory he'll have a shot here, but it's needless to say this is at best a 10% shot, if not even less than 10%. But it is a chance though, and it will be for the win. 8 into the side. There is still some life left in this match, Tim. Could be get a hill. It has all the hallmarks of it.
Well, this is my last match for today, but I know the exact word to describe today, and that's I am bum-fuzzled. I cannot believe what I get to see today. Like the weirdest comebacks, yeah, it's just been a lot today. I gotta tell you that. And Justin still being able to play himself back into the set once again.
There's one thing I would order for Justin Bergman is to stay still on the shots. He has a tendency every once in a while to be very quick on his backswing. Just finish the shot. But he should get out. That's one thing, that's for sure.
Well, we still have to get to the traveling, though.
That wiped his feet as well, but in it went. Yeah, this is looking like a good pace. He's got an angle. This match is not over yet, Tim.
Yeah, and I have this feeling it's far from it, to be honest. I mean, Justin Bergman, he's giving his everything to bring this to another hill set, and well, just wondering what would Skylar Woodward feel at this point. I mean, this match has been a true emotional roller coaster, and I mean, if you look at Justin's matches in this World Able Championship, he's beaten Duan Guoc Wang from Vietnam 8-7 in the opening round, then Joshua Filler 8-7 in the winners round 1. He lost to Gerson Martinez Boza 8-5. But then he beat Wojciech Cevcik 8-7. So it's like every match he's won in this tournament, it has been a hill. And, well, if he wants to go through to the last 16, it means he will have to win this match in a hill fashion as well.
Yeah,
and the frustration.
We both understand why, and I don't blame him. It's a hard old road to climb back when the break has just deserted you. I've done a previous match of his with Eric, and I said, hey, he's taking his glove off. It's like symbolically saying, I give up. And he said, no, he's done this on several occasions. It's a habit of him.
Yeah, I did see that too. And he actually got to shoot in the same rack, and then he had to put it on real fast. So, kind of messy. And oh, well, did Woodward just land? No, I think it's just, yeah, plenty of space in between. Now the 4 should give the 6 to the bottom left later on. The 8 doesn't go into the bottom right.
That's a clever positional shot, Tim. That is really a clever positional shot. If he can pot this 6 and hold the cue ball for the 4 ball, I would say he's done 80% of the work. Such a brutal sport this is. Justin Bergman came to the table with lots of hope. Tried to tie the scores and failed to pot a ball on his break, and it could be his last shot in this year's Yalin World 8-Ball Pool Championships.
Looked like it was a bit slow crossing over, but eventually it ran just far enough. If it came up a ball shorter, that cut on the 3 was quite annoying. Now, just needs to stay away from the 10. Doesn't want to crawl behind the 10. Look at how nicely he has judged the pace on that. The ideal angle on the 2. And it's now 2 balls away from a place in the last 16. And that means the hometown favorite, Justin Bergman, well, he will be back in the semifinal of the mixed doubles event we have, but not in this World 8-Ball Championship. Tough loss, but it has been a great battle to watch. And down goes the 8, and it's Skylar Woodward.
And there it is, Skylar Woodward advancing into the Sweet 16. And Justin Bergman will be back here in just
Sorabi being by my side once again. My name is Tim de Ruiter. I am signing off for today, but we still have 2 more